What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. We are back once again for another round of AOR Oceania for season number 5 on the Xbox platform. We're here, as you can see on your screen, for round number 18 here for the Mexican Grand Prix. And it's a little bit of a wet Mexican Grand Prix, but championship-wise, it is 195 points between New Zealand Ryan and LSCM Allen. We're still in P11, only a couple of points just ahead of Derek Kidd. Ferrari have got a 313-point advantage in the Constructors, and we're in position number 7, just behind Racing Points. So, yeah, welcome to a very wet Mexico Grand Prix. Not usually you see Mexico in the wets. I think it's pretty much a rarity. I don't think, even from like watching like previous races, I don't even like when even raced around here. I don't ever remember having like a wet session around Mexico ever, or even watching a real life wet session ever around Mexico. So this is something completely and utterly different here. So anyway, we'll continue on here as we just go by New Zealand Ryan. I think that was just going past here, but yeah, this is this sort of Mexico Grand Prix. It was a bit of a don't know exactly how to say. It was sort of looking forward to it, but otherwise a little bit cautious as well, sort of thing, because it felt like the pace in a drive was going to be okay, but and the pace in this sort of wet early stage of qualifying, hard to say really here, but I will point out as well that even though it is going to be inters for now, it is planning to dry up a little bit later on here. We might get a message in a moment.
It looks like we'll be running on a dry track soon, back to dry shortly.
So there you go, there's the confirmation there from Jeff saying that we will be going dry conditions very, very shortly there. But yeah, we're just pretty much doing as many laps as we can here on these intermediate highs, and not exactly entirely sure, because obviously Jeff didn't mention when exactly the weather was going to clear up, but I would assume by the look of this, it is sort of starting to dry up a little bit here, but track does take a little bit of time to clear up a little bit, and well, the obvious dry line. There's sort of a little bit of a dry line starting to appear, but it's not obvious just as yet here, and it's only sort of a light sprinkle now compared to what it was a little bit earlier on in the qualifying session here. But here I'm just sort of showing you the quickish laps that I had around here in the inters. I think this is probably the quickest lap time in the inters, on the inters I should say. But we're going to come across the line now. We'll head up into P2 there with a 126.470, which was a hell of a lot better than the 27.7 that I did on the first lap. But you'll see a little bit further on. I think what did I do here? I must have continued on for another lap here, but you can actually see the delta time actually on the top right of your screen. Wasn't ideally the great sector time, especially. So, but yeah, you can see here going again for another run here. Just sort of doing our absolute best here. Nice-ish run through there. We actually go a little bit green here on delta time. So possibly an improvement on this lap here, but you can tell it's really starting to dry up now. We actually go purple through sector 1, but yeah, all that time is pretty much now gone down the drain as we locked up going down into turn 4, I believe it is. But even coming through the second sector here, I somehow go green into this sector, but you'll find here I have a bit of a just run off a little bit too wide here, and then coming through the baseball section here, doing my best Tokyo drift work here. That was definitely not planned here, but somehow I still managed to make the corner. But yeah, all that time was pretty much went down the drain very quickly here. So you can tell that the conditions are really starting to dry up quite a bit. So it's pretty much nearly time, I think, to come back into the pit lane here and chuck on a set of the drive tyres, as Icarus has actually been disqualified from the session. Not entirely sure what happened to him there. So he's going to be starting from the back of the grid, as we just have a check onto the dry tyres. Now, it's a bit of a sort of a question mark on what tyres you start on for Mexico, because there's possibly a couple of different strategies here, but we actually drop back down to third here just for a second there as we have a look at all the runners here. We only had 12 runners, I think, for this one, which is a little bit down, but hey, it is the end of the season. I think a few people were getting sick of the game. Anyway, there's Bezerk having a bit of a moment. I actually caught that one while I was trying my best to sort of waste time a little bit there through the rest of the, well, getting into the final part of qualifying with only 2 minutes to go. But yeah, literally just leaving the lane now is a bit of encouragement there from Jeff there, even though I'm well and truly inside the top 10 there, Jeff. But yeah, Ryan obviously is now retired himself from the session as Conrad has now gone to the top with a, I can't remember the lap time what it was. You would have all seen it there anyway. But literally I was thinking in my head at the time, red flag the session or at this time. But oh, it might have been actually in the party chat actually. I said this red flag the session now with Conrad, but anyway, we're going to stick aboard here because this is my fastest lap
30 seconds left in the session.
of my quali session. So anyway, we'll see what we can do, whether we can put it on regional pole possibly on the set of soft compound tyres. But there's probably going to be a few other guys that could go for the potential of going for P1 as well. But yeah, nice-ish run through turns 2 and turns 1, 2, and 3 for that matter. But now sizing it up here, you can see the time is just going to drop dramatically here as we go purple through sector 1 here. So as Conrad again goes even quicker on his set of mediums, as now qualifying is now completed. So we're going to see here the nice run-ish through turn, what was that, turn 6 I think it was. Now tricky section through here. I was sort of taking it a little bit cautiously as well because I wasn't entirely sure whether the track was fully dry or not, but nice run through turns 10 and 11 there, so we're really starting to improve here as we go purple again through sector 2. I think we're nearly about 5.3 seconds quicker than the previous lap time. We're trying to slow it down here. Have a little brake block up there, just missed the apex a little bit, but it's not too bad. Just running over that curb through the baseball section now. Around the final corner we go, take the shortest run to the line. What's the lap time going to be? It is a 1 minute. What is it? A 1 minute 18.521, which put us on provisional pole for the time being. Poms could not, well, he did improve, but it wasn't enough for provisional pole position. But like I said, there is a few possibly guys that could possibly take pole position off me, as we see here. My teammate actually goes to the top there, but I think a 1 minute 17 there, and New Zealand Venom jumps in, then Lagi jumps to the top with a 1 minute 17.4. I was waiting to see whether a few other guys were going to improve or not, but thankfully I don't think there was too much others. They might have moved up a few spots, but it wasn't anywhere near me. So we jumped from provisional pole to P4, and in the end, there's only 3 of us actually qualified on the soft tyres, and 4 on the mediums, and not too many others on the intermediates. I think from memory, Death Bro had a moment on his dry tyre run there, so he's down in position 8. But it is Lagi on pole ahead of my teammate, is that Matt. But it is time to go racing here for the Mexican Grand Prix.
For turn 1 at the start. Turn 1.
Thank you, Jeff. We'll definitely keep an eye for turn 1. But welcome to the grid for the guys and girls for the Mexican Grand Prix. Now, race strategy-wise, it is a little bit of a tricky one here. Now, it was a bit up in the air about whether the 1 stop is quicker or the 2 stop is quicker. But considering I am on the soft tyres, the 2 stop is definitely not out of the option here. But I'm going to stick with what my original plan was going to be the 1 stop here as we get set for the formation lap here.
Everything looks good on the power unit cycle, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
As always, thank you, Jeff. But yeah, I'm going to stick with my original strategy here of starting on the soft tyres, going for as long as I can, and then jumping on the the hard compounded tyres and going to the end of the race. And I will also point out in the race what happened in qualifying, what went wrong a little bit there. But I think we're all set to go here for the Mexican Grand Prix. So here we go. We're all set for round number 18. 5 red lights. Let's do it around the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, and it's a decent start. My teammate did not get off to a great start here, but Lagi's got off to a pretty decent start here, and so has New Zealand Venom. Actually, he's going to go right up the middle here. First one on probably on the medium compounded tyres. We take the more cautious, the tighter line into turn 1, and now Poms goes up the inside here, and we not quite, well, a little bit squeezed out into turn 3, but not too bad. But we dropped pretty much where we started, really. But same can't be said for my teammate. He's actually dropped way back there. Not sure exactly what happened. Have a little look up the inside, but actually get our first track limits warning there already. Even on lap 1 as Poms gets a little bit sideways off the corner there and got death right up my gearbox there. Did not even realise till I looked back there and I thought, hello, where'd you come from? But there's also a fast charging New Zealand Ryan there, not far behind him either. But yeah, sort of just playing the cautious game here, and also sort of an idea as well of trying to keep my tyres in check as well, because I knew the soft tyres would probably be going off, but I just knew I had to sort of, if I was to go on the one stop, I knew I just had to play it cautiously here and just save a bit of tyre wear, save a bit of tyre wear as best I could there. But we survived pretty much lap 1 here, but probably the bad thing is that both the Racing Point cars are actually ahead, and obviously on a different compounded tyre, that there's a possibility that those two in front, both New Zealand Venom and Poms for the win, they could be trying the one stop here. Not entirely sure about everybody else. I probably assume New Zealand Ryan would probably be another one that would be probably doing a medium to hard compound strategy, or he might have been doing the other way. I can't even remember off the top of my head, but was also going to point out as well that I did make a little error during my quali run. As we get a second track limits warning, and Poms going very wide there off the exit. We have a little bit of a look around there, but not really quite close enough. There is just keeping it in check for the time being. But yeah, I made a little error in judgment there, because during qualifying, when it was obviously during the wet session there, I think I was running, what was I running, like 3, 4 or 3, 5 wings. Just like, that was just mainly for the wets, especially as DRS is now enabled, and my teammate somehow sets the fastest lap of the race. But yeah, I made a complete error, and when we were changing over to the dry compounded tyres, as we'll actually come back for a second, Poms covers the inside line there, so try to put him under a bit of attack here, just trying to do a little bit of a crisscross, the over and under sort of tactic here. But again, on like lap, when you get the DRS enabled on lap 3, you don't actually get it enabled. It's not till about lap 4 when it actually gets properly enabled. We have to do another lap here, but we're right all over the back here of Poms. So those tyres probably on the medium compound are not really up to temperature as of yet here, and Def's doing a stellar job of trying to keep Ryan behind as best he can. And there's a little bit of a red X moment there. That probably has to do with my leg. So yeah. Yeah, I was thinking Poms had gone. I had a little bit of a moment there, but no can do. It was nowhere near. But yeah, when I was get back to what I was saying earlier about qualifying, I forgot to change the front wing back down to 2, because that was the plan originally. Well, it was going to be the plan had it been dry, but for the race, obviously, changed the front wing back down to 2 on the front wing, and it was either 4 or 5 on the front wing. Mainly, it was to do for the long straights around here. But anyway, that was an error on my part there. But obviously, forgot to change it in qualifying, but did change it back for the race anyway, so that was an added bonus there. But lap 4, now we have the DRS proper. As you can see, have a CEO there. Not straight line speed wasn't actually too bad compared to Poms, but getting a little bit close there, and also a little bit lag moment there as well. Actually, somehow went purple in sector 1 there. Don't know exactly how that works there, but it's a sort of a bit of a train starting to form here, obviously behind with Poms, myself, Death Bro, obviously, and Ryan as well. The top 2 have sort of started to pull away here as well. And obviously, like I mentioned earlier, both the Racing Points will be probably trying for the one stop. Laggy, I'm not entirely sure what his plan is, whether he's going to do the one stop or the 2 stop here. A little bit of a lock break there for Poms. Did have a think about going up the inside here into turn 13, but literally right all over the gearbox there. It's just riding the curves as best we can. Lose a bit of momentum and actually run a little bit too wide there coming off the corner there, and actually lose the back end quite a bit there. You can see Death is right all over the back of me here. It obviously didn't quite get the drive there, but thankfully we still remain in the DRS of Poms. We start to drag him back in here with the help of a bit of lag, so that's always helpful, isn't it, when a bit of lag helps you out there when he sort of moves backwards and forwards a little bit, but literally right all over the back of him here. And again, the drive for Poms is a heck of a lot better than ours by the looks of things, but maybe his tyres are starting to come to fruition as well. Or the tyre pressure is sort of, it's the, you know what I mean anyway with the tyre compounds, but sort of coming into phase about this point in time. And he runs a little bit wide again through turn 12, but we run very deep into turn 13. That was one of the corners that was really bugging me this whole race. You'll probably see throughout this whole race highlights package anyway, but we lose all that momentum now to Poms. And the bad thing is I'm out of DRS now, so I'm going to be under attack from both these guys behind me here. So you can see, just look at that, the slipstream here, both Death and Ryan, as they're just going to go sailing by me, I think both of them here. But I think Death has to go very deep there just to maintain keep in front of Ryan. Like I thought, Ryan is on the medium compounded tyres, but so is Bezerk, as I think he qualified on the medium compound tyres. But you can see Death going way down the defensive line here, trying to keep Ryan behind him as best he can. I think Ryan's going to go right around the long way here into turn, turn 5, and just manages to do so here. Now up the inside into 6. These two are still going side by side somehow, but I think Ryan's now got the job done. So he'll probably be thankful he's got past Death there. So it was a great effort from Death. Like he was in the party chat with myself and my teammate as we get our first time penalty of the race. So that's not really ideal, this one, but he did his pretty decent job as he's right up the rear end now of Ryan there. Might have given him a little bit of a nudge there, but anyway, they survived that one. Again, running wide. That was probably another corner that was bugging me as well, that second to last corner there, coming onto the front straight there. But you see, it's going side by side here with Bezerk. We've still got the DRS from Death, and you know what, to be fair, the straight line speed or the engine grunt power in this Alfa Romeo is not too bad compared to the Bezerk and the McLaren. But we slide our way through turns 1 and 2. Get a track limits warning, had to take that, literally had no other choice, but somehow we maintain our position ahead of Bezerk. I still don't know how the hell we didn't lose a spot to Bezerk here, but we're starting to really drop away here as we lock up big time here going into turn 4. So I had to take a compromised line there, I should say, but Death sort of keeping Ryan in check here at the moment as we run very wide here, and turn 12 was probably another corner that was giving me grief as well. Just never got that corner right at all. There's either I broke too early or broke too late and running out very wide here, but you see, look at all that ground we've lost now to Death, so we're pretty much going to be under attack here from both MasterBezerk, and I think my teammate's in there as well. Yes, he is. So yeah, even without the DRS, straight line speed now, even with DRS for Bezerk, is now in full effect now up the inside, and Matt takes full advantage of that one as well. So you can see, it's just, I don't know where the pace has gone here a little bit. And like I said, I wasn't entirely sure because I was probably mainly doing this a little bit practice in time trial, so I probably should have practiced a little bit there in Grand Prix mode. And at that point in time, I thought, yeah, this one-stop plan I don't think is going to really work here, so I think I'm going to have to abort this strategy here and come in and do the two-stop here. So come towards the end of lap 9 here, we're still keeping in touch with our teammate, but yeah, I'm going to pit at the end of this lap because I think this is probably about the time you want to be pitting if you're doing the two-stop around here. So in we come. I think we're one of the only ones, and not one of the earliest ones here to for the two-stop around here. So anyway, here we come for on the medium tyres. Away we go. Nice job from Alfa Romeo boys. Should come out in some relatively clean air. I say some relative clean air because there's both Icarus and Kyle was just going past right now. Yeah, I don't know, Mexico, it's sort of a little bit up in arms really whether the one-stop is better or the two-stop, but yeah, it's like most tracks. I think Abu Dhabi is probably another one where it's possible you can do the one-stop or the two-stop, but my teammate's now in the pit lane. Again, Codemasters, I don't know why you have to tell me 3 times that my teammate's in the pit lane. I get it, all right? I only have to be told once, but this part wasn't really helping me as well because I'm right up now the back of both Kiowas and Icarus. I think you're having their own battle here for 9th and 10th at the moment, but of course they've still yet to pit. But here we come out of the pit lane. There's my teammate. We're nearly going to go 4 wide here. Thankfully, didn't quite eventuate, but literally swing past my teammate there and to go past Icarus, diving up the inside here of Kairos, just making sure I have a little bit of room there. But we make the move stick and we're back up into position 8. Now we obviously cleared those two. Now it'll be a job for Matt to try and get past those two behind, and going by from what the battling they were doing, it might be a little bit of time before he actually tries and gets past them both. But yeah, I don't think it took him long for Matt to get past, and he's up back up into P9. So I think we're going to set our personal best lap time here. But a few guys also come into the pits as well. Laggy and Death Pro have come in, so they're obviously doing the 2-stop as well. We got another 3-second time penalty, so that doesn't help our cause at all, because that'll affect us a little bit later on in the race. But lap 15, this is when I think first of the medium runners, definitely Pomps for the win. First of the medium runners has come in. Now he's gone for the hard compounder tyres.
Fresh hards. The time last lap was a 1 minute 22.2. You're closing in by 3 seconds a lap.
And of course Pomps, he's always squeaky clean, his Pomps with time penalties, so he's got 0 at the moment here. But really just trying to close in the gap here to Pomps. There's another couple of guys pit at the end of lap 16, Brazuca and Bezerk. Now Berserk's another one that's gone for the 1-stop around here, so well, as he's now dropped in behind my teammate in P8, I think it is. So, but Pomps is still ahead of us here, but coming through the right-hander here. What's happened here? I think there was, yeah, there is a yellow flag behind her, because I think Berserk, from memory, because I think my teammate was either near him or battling him. Is actually have a little spin here. I'll get back to that in a second. We have a big moment coming through turn 1 there. I had no choice but to cut the, turn 3 out, basically, and yeah, that was awkward there as we get another 3-second time penalty there, but it's not really helping our cause at the current moment here. But yeah, literally just lost the back end there and had no other choice but to take that anyway. So
we're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
Yeah, but yeah, I think my teammate was near Berserk or battling Berserk or something from memory. But I think Berserk actually had a spin between turn 5 and 6 there. So yeah, bit of a shame for Berserk, but he's slowly starting to catch up there. You can probably see on the mini-map as we get past the Icarus, who's now gone lap down, I believe. So you saw them way back on, I think it was the end of lap 22 there. You would have seen my teammate come into the pit lane. He was trying to go for the undercut on me there because he could not quite get past me in the end.
We're coming in this lap.
But you can see here the tyre wear, it's not too bad here at the moment. So I was thinking about stretching this strategy here. Now, obviously, strategy you would think around here is probably soft, medium, but in with the pace here is both Death and New Zealand Venom have come into the pit lane. So
okay, clear.
Venom, I was thinking he was doing the 1-stop, but I think he's going for the 2-stop around here, unless I'm absolutely mistaken. We get another time penalty, so that's definitely not going to help our results later on in the race. But I feel like I could stretch this set of mediums out for as long as I can, and maybe try and go on for a set onto the set of soft tyres here. But I knew from behind me, you can still see the tyre wear. Again, it's not too bad, but again, behind me, New Zealand Venom's obviously...
We may see some rain. ETA is about 15 minutes.
I doubt we'll get any rain for this final part, considering we're in the final stages of the race here. But you can tell New Zealand Venom's definitely got the pace at the moment. It's got the fastest lap of the race here, and we come towards the end of lap 28 here. I think I'm going to come in and pit here, but it was a bit awkward here because Venom goes up the inside here, and I was obviously trying to get into the pit lane. So I probably don't have any qualms about that one, but I was hoping he'd probably wait a little bit, or maybe I should have moved over to the right a little bit, so I could have told him he was coming into the pit lane, coming into the pits. But anyway, we're going to a set of soft tyres. So we've got roughly 7 laps, I think, of having a bit of fun on the softs, and maybe trying to go for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, which gives us the extra bonus point, which will certainly help our case in the constructors. Probably not so much with Racing Point, because I think they're definitely pulling away from us at this point. But there's probably still some other teams as we get another time penalty. So that's number 5, I think, this race. So that'd be worth 15 seconds worth of penalties, I think. Maybe count 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yeah, that'd be 15 seconds worth of time penalties here. But literally just blazing on here. We set a purple middle sector there, and we've really caught up to the back of my teammate here. So well, he did get the overcut on us. Oh, sorry, the undercut, I should say. But yeah, it's sort of not working right about now, considering I've got a bit more grip under these with these soft compound tyres. But with that invalidation, I actually set a 16.4, I think, from memory, which I can't remember from memory. You guys and girls would have seen, and anybody watching this would have probably seen, excuse me, as a New Zealand Venom as our fastest lap was. So yeah, you probably, well, I think it was relatively close, probably not the fastest overall, but anyway, we got past the teammate pretty easy down even before turn 1 onto the front straight there. So yeah, it was pretty slick work there. But again, just really pushing on here, again trying to go for the fast lap. Again, I did corner cut, was turn 2 or 3, might have been turn 2. So I was probably a little bit worried this lap wouldn't count as well. It's just some tracks that you can cut the corner and you can get away with doing a lap, but others you can't. And again, setting a 16.
Our gap behind is 1.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 9 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 18.5. They have a time penalty of 6.0.
16.3s. We get another time penalty. So again, very well here with 18 seconds of time penalties here at the current moment. What's Bezerk got?
They're on old hards. Their tyres are 15 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:18.7. You're taking 2.5 seconds out of them each lap. They have a time penalty of 18.0.
Okay, so I think we're pretty even on the time penalties between me and Bezerk, and obviously with me on the soft compound tyres, I've got a heck of a lot of pace.
Front is 2.4 seconds.
Yeah, the gap's really starting to close in here. I'm really taking a lot of time out of Bezerk here, so probably still have an opportunity to get past him for P6, barring that I don't get another time penalty, but I was really hoping that he would get another time penalty. And we've obviously really dropped Matt a lot behind here, so he's looking pretty consistent, maybe stay in position 8 here as we set another purple sector time here. But I think we're sticking aboard here because this was actually my fastest lap of the race. Don't think it was the fastest lap overall, but I think it's still the fastest lap of the race, of my race personally here. But we're fast through sector 1, now coming through turn 7, 8, this sort of S section here, you snake your way along here. Now turn 10 and 11, which is one of the most corner cutting tracks, parts of the circuit, I should say. Now coming through into turn 12, we set a personal green sector time, I should say, nearly 8/10 per second quicker. Into the baseball section we go. Just keeping it nice and tight here. Just riding over those curves. It just didn't like riding the curves a little bit. I get a warning again for, I don't know what on earth that was for, but probably just track extending a little bit too much there. But we set a 17.358. Now, if I actually got one of my laps properly valid, I probably would have maybe challenge for the fastest lap of the race. It would have been close between myself and New Zealand Venom, but yeah, well, yeah, I think it was pretty close. You'll probably see, if you saw earlier on, you probably know whether I would have beaten Venom or not, but we'll probably see in the race results afterwards. But you can see here, we're really starting to close in here on Bezerk, but we didn't quite get the DRS either here, so just playing it nice and cautiously through here, trying to do a little bit of a switch back here, trying to get the drive out of here, but obviously not trying to get ourselves into wheel spin as well, which thankfully we didn't. So
there's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
We got a little bit of fuel up my sleeve, but I was trying to save fuel through this sort of slow section here, and obviously just trying to keep out of MasterBezerk's dirty air a little bit as well, just so I could sort of keep in touch and not lose ground here. But knowing Bezerk, he is a well-known fighter, he's getting another time penalty, so we're up to 21 seconds of time penalties here. But I think we'll possibly maybe get an update here on the front straight here, even though we're pretty close here to Bezerk.
Teammate by 3.8 seconds.
Sorry, that was a bit of an update from Jeff about the teammate situation there, but we're really starting to close in here on Bezerk into turn one. We got to go the long way, but was not having a bar of that. Was just sort of lining myself up here for probably the next passing spot, which is into turn 4 here. And now we've got the DRS here, but again, Bezerk taking the defensive line here, so we're going to have to try going the long way around here, which obviously Ryan did earlier on. Gives us space. We may have a little bit of contact there. I don't think, hopefully I didn't give MasterBezerk any front wing damage there, but just giving him enough space, and I think possibly we get the move. No, we don't here. Bezerk comes fighting back here into turn 7 here, so like I said, Bezerk's a well-known fighter here, so he was going to give his absolute all to make sure he has a decent position. I think go back to one of my other, so maybe in a league that's no longer, go back then, and you'll know back then there was a good fight between me and Bezerk back then. But anyway, there's probably one last chance here, which is probably, considering we're coming on to the last lap of the Mexican Grand Prix here. I think Ryan's probably got this one wrapped up here, but we should have the DRS here. And I think Bezerk knows this, covers the inside line there. Again, a little bit of lag, but with the slipstream here, we just make mincemeat of him here into turn 1. I think he tries to look for it down the inside to turn 1. I leave enough space as best I can. I think that's Icarus, possibly, or Kai was one of the two, just getting out of everybody's road here. But thankfully, we still got the DRS here, and I think we should have enough to pull away here for maybe this final part here. But next sort of question was here, I wasn't sure, again, what the penalty situation was. Like I said, I've got 6 lots of 3-second time penalties. I think as Ryan takes another victory here, so literally even from starting from literally the back, well, outside the 10 or in 10, in a 10, he still manages to get a decent, gets another race victory here. So extending he's already champion-elect that he is. As the confetti's flying in the baseball section here. Literally just giving him an absolute all here, because I wasn't sure that the penalties come across the line. We come across in P6, and it actually stays, I think, P6. Or no, actually, we actually dropped back to P7, because I think my teammate had less penalties in the end there. So I think Bezerk possibly, we'll have a look in the race results in a second here, but this is Icarus, I think just showing off a bit to the crowd here at Mexico as he gets a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. I ain't surprised there. It's that massive corner cut there, absolutely cut that little bit between like turns 13 and 14 there, and I think he slammed into the wall there. So it's not been a great race, unfortunately, again for Icarus there, and still waiting to get his first points. But so Ferrari 1-3 with New Zealand Venom, I think it was, splitting these two yet again. So again, Ryan, with his domination that he has had this season, I can't remember exactly the number of race wins that he's had this season, but put it this way, it's a lot. And just the domination that he's had this season overall here. No doubt LSM Allen would have given him a fight, but again, these pedals and wheel issue was certainly not helpful there. But there's the final result. So Ryan takes the victory ahead of Venom and Laggy. Poms did a great, decent job, actually. Didn't see much of Poms, actually, that race in P4. Deathbro managed to recover back up into P5 there. And, well, you can see here, actually, one thing I should point out, Laggy actually did the soft to medium strategy, which I did not think was possible at all, but somehow he managed to do it there. But obviously, Matt in P6, myself in P8, and Icarus a couple of laps down. Thankfully, everybody finished, so that was the main thing. So now, 220 points is the margin between, obviously, champion-elect New Zealand Ryan and LSM Allen. There's been a change for third place because that Laggy person has now jumped Warden into P3, I think, from memory. Unless I've missed that from the Japanese Grand Prix, but I think that's definitely changed. They got ahead of Palms, New Zealand Venom, Matt, Deathbro, Bezerk, and Toppy B in position 10. We come in, obviously, in P11 now. Just now ahead of LSC and the Butler, who actually dropped out of the 10 from memory, if I can think back a little bit here. But obviously, there's Derek Kidd, who still hasn't turned up again. Berserker, Conrad, Kaiwas, and then Icarus and Lockstar, who are still yet to score points. Constructors, obviously, Ferrari are the Constructors champions, 353 points ahead of Haas, who potentially, I don't know if it's confirmed or not, they've wrapped up second in the Constructors' Championship, but it's going to be tight between the minor places as well, because McLaren are coming under threat from Racing Point and Mercedes, and probably us if we keep this point scoring form up as well, and Williams running out the 10 as well. But there's the overall results for the Mexican Grand Prix. So Ryan took victory in Xbox F1, Exadona took victory in Xbox One F2, which sort of keeps the championship alive a little bit for the F2 side, and Pete Crichton took the victory ahead of Darren 11, and I think F1 Amazing Hour did not have a great race again, so that championship's probably heating up as well. So yeah, I'll leave you now with the highlights from the race of the Mexican Grand Prix. That is it for the Mexican Grand Prix, by the way. If you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. As always, you can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more AOR Oceania content on F1 2019, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description. Plus, you can check out the links to the AOR YouTube channel, the website, and their Twitter channel. All the links will be down there as always. But yeah, until the next time, which will be what's next? The United States Grand Prix it'll be. Right, because of course Mexico and USA switched around for 2019. But yeah, until we meet in Austin, Texas, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.